Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. So, after just watching a friggin' amazing fight, I mean amazing fight between Estrada and Chocolatito Gonzalez, right? The fight was friggin' amazing all the way up until the friggin' announcement for the winner of the fight. I mean, we just witnessed a robbery, plain and simple. I don't know what, I mean, yeah, the other two judges, they scored it 115 to 113. Pretty close fight. Yeah, the fight close. Me, I personally had it 115, 113 to Chocolatito. I had it 7 rounds to 5 for Chocolatito. He was the busier fighter. He was the more accurate fighter. He landed more punches, right? He threw more punches, and he still lose. I don't get it. There was a whole stretch of the fight. After the first round, Estrada won the first round because he came out very busy. And he won that first round. Gonzalez wasn't busy enough in the first round. After that, from round 2 to round 6, that was all Gonzalez, right? Then I give Estrada round 7 and 8. And then Gonzalez pretty much won the rest of the rounds. Maybe you give Estrada one round in there. Right? Maybe you give him 1 or 2 rounds from 9 to 12. But Gonzalez definitely won the 12th round. I feel he won the 11th round. Maybe you give Estrada round 10 or 9. So when you have this judge saying 117 to 111, it's friggin' ridiculous. I mean, like, when you have scores like that, these judges should never have to judge again. Like, you shouldn't. These judges should get fired. They should be banned from the sport. Because this is very deflating. That took my adrenaline from up here, because I'm just like this in the fight. Oh, the whole friggin' time. My adrenaline all the way up here. And then when they read the results, my shit just dropped low. And this is the problem with boxing all the time. This is the problem with boxing. This is what aggravates boxing fans. This is mess up the sport. This is why people don't draw to the sport, man. When you have a clear result like this, like, come on. Even if it had ended in a draw, I would have taken it. Which I still would have been pissed for a draw, because I feel like Roman Gonzalez won that fight. It was a close fight, but Gonzalez won that fight. How the hell you going to outland somebody? How you going to be more accurate than somebody? How you going to throw more punches? And it's not like you're doing it in just a few rounds or whatever. You're doing it in multiple rounds. Gonzalez did enough to win 7 rounds. And this is wrong with the sport. You know what I mean? I feel so sorry for Roman Gonzalez. He had to sit there and listen to a scorecard like 117, 111. He had to hear that after all of his hard work. He was never gonna, you know what that tells me? He was never gonna win a fight against Estrada in Texas unless he knocked him out. He had to knock out Estrada to win in Texas. That's the only way he would win a fight. That's what that tell me. Because if you have a judge going to score 117 to 111, is friggin' ridiculous. That just took my hypeness and my excitement and just deflated me. And this is what's wrong with the sports. And we've seen these decisions quite frequently since the lockdown. Quite frequently since we've been fighting in the bubble. Quite frequently since we've been fighting in, small crowds, right? Because these judges feel like they could just get away with these things because the crowd is not there. It's friggin' ridiculous, man. You see Gonzalez, is a friggin' nice, humble guy, man. He's a nice, humble guy, and he tried to be humble and accept the results. But you see him breaking down emotionally at the end there because he knew he won that fight. He knew he won that fight. You see Estrada calling for the 3rd fight immediately because he know in his mind and in his heart, he knows that he did not win that fight. That's why he was like, he deserves the third fight, and I want the third fight. Estrada can't fully celebrate that victory because he knew he didn't win that fight. His corner knew he didn't win that fight. His corner was telling him in the 9th round, his corner was telling him that he needs a knockout to win because he's down on the scorecard. He needs a knockout. You need a knockout, Estrada. You need a knockout. And then you come to the end of the fight and he wins. This shit's ridiculous. That's why he didn't celebrate. That's why he called for the third fight immediately. That's why you didn't see so much of a reaction out of him, because he knew in his heart that he did not win that fight. He knew in his heart that Roman Gonzalez won that fight. And that's all I have to say. Boxing, I tell you, I love this sport, but I hate it at the same time.